So this is what I do when I'm trying to draw out the sleeve for any dress. It's very simple. So this is what I do. So let's say if this is your fabric, let's just say this whole thing is your small piece of fabric. You have to measure to be sure that the width of this fabric and then the height of the fabric, the piece of fabric you have, are equal to the around arm at the base. So this should be equal to around the around arm plus allowance, and then the sleeve length from here to here should be the sleeve length, and then from here to here should be good enough plus allowance. So let's say all this should be the allowance, all around will be the allowance. Do you get it? So all around this would be like the allowance. So once you have this, yours is to take. So if the person's measurement, let's say the around arm is, let's say 12 for around arm, and then the sleeve length is 16 for sleeve length, right? I'll add 1 inch to this 12 and make it 13. So I measure from here to here, which would be 6.5. So let's say from here to here is my 6.5. Then from here to here would be my, so if it's 16, I'll make it 17. That's 8.5. So from here, let's say from here to here is my 8.5. It's my 16 rather. It's my 16 because it's the height. We don't divide the height, so it's the height. So once you are done, you can add allowance to it, because maybe you want to fold it more than once. You can decide to make even this like 17.5 or 18, just because you want to fold the edges in. It depends on you, but you give good allowance that you can use to fold in. So once you are done with this, you're now going to go to this side of the sleeve where the sleeve ends, where it ends, wherever your allowance and whatever is, where it ends, right? And then you measure from here all the way to 4 inches below this line. So let me make it easy. This line, you just extend it, right? And then 4 inches down. You can decide to make it 4.5 inches down, like below, but the average is 4 inches. So that after you are done sewing, to go in as 4.5. So this place would be 4.5 inch down, 4.5 inch, or 4 inch down. So when you get here, this is your first point for the base of the sleeve, because you curve this side to meet this point. And so this, how come you need this point more importantly? After you have figured out, you have noted this 4 inch area, you go here, and what you have to do is find the midpoint of this 6.5. So if it's you measure and then you divide the 6.5 point 2, you find the midpoint, and let's say the midpoint is here. So your job would be to go 1 inch lower. So this would be like, from here to here would be like 5 inches, right? Lower. Or you can even make it 4.5, but it should be 1 inch lower than this one. And yours will just use your hand, free hand, to go in and then meet it here. Meet it on the 4 inch point you used. And that's how you get you have to be free hand. So you just move, try to join here. You can decide to move, join here by a small, like, free hand drawing, and then you continue from here this way, and that's how you get it. I'm going to cut it on paper so that it makes more practical sense, but this is how it looks. So now I'm going to cut it on paper. I have my ruler and then items, right? I'm going to use the same measurement. So the sleeve length, let me take this side out. I'll still present it. So the sleeve length is, let's say, 8 inches, and then around arm is 13 inches. So these are the measurements I'm going to use for the sleeve. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to measure from here to, I'm going to measure from here to 8 inches, but I'm going to add 1.5 inch for allowance. So then it's going to so 1.5 inch, and then so I'm just going to mark this point. This is where the allowance ends. I'm going to use my ruler from here all the way there. You can tell that we have enough room on the side. Now, from this point to my around arm, from here, this to 13 divided by 2. So 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. I'm adding 1.5 inch, that's 8 inches. So from here to here, this is my 8 inches. And I'm going to draw the line to connect. I'm going to draw the line. So this is what it looks like. This is the sleeve length, and this is the around so now that we have this, I'm just going to go in from here to here. This is our midpoint. I'm going to extend this line a bit. I'm just going to extend this line. Just a bit, just extend it just a bit to have more room. So we have, once we have that, this is our so now I'm going to take the midpoint of this is 8, so the midpoint is 4. There's a midpoint for this 4. Then this measurement from here to here was 9.5, so minus 4 will be 5.5. So from here we'll measure the 5.5. It will be my 5.5. Once I'm done, I'm going to try to extend this line a bit, just extend it, and then I'm going to drop here 1.5 inch. So if it was 9.5, 1.5 inch downwards, that's what it needs. So now that I have these 3 points, I'm going to use my ruler, or if you like, I'm just going to use my free hand or my just short pen to just curve, and then so you can see that this steep is not deep enough, so you can drop it down for another 1 inch. It's not steep enough, so I'm going to drop it down for another 1 inch because it's not proportionate to the measurement. So I'm just going to go back in and it's connected by curves. I'm just going to connect it by curves. Now somebody will ask, what does this curve do? This curve makes it easy to go around the shoulder. So you know that when we, for example, so let's say when we draw the basic bodice block, this side, I don't know if you can see, when we draw the basic bodice block, let me draw it here. When you draw the basic bodice block, this curve that we have, is what will go around this side. It will fit into it. It fits into this curve when you have. So it's essentially to give enough allowance so that even if it exceeds going around this curve, you can cut the rest out. And so this curve makes it easier to go around the shoulder. So it's literally like going around the shoulder like this. It's going around the shoulder like that. And then that's how it is. So that's how it is. That's literally how it is. It meets this point like that. So that's what we have done here. So once you're ready, you just cut it out. And just cut it out, and then there you have it. This is your sleeve. This is my quickest way of cutting a sleeve. So you just need the around arm measurements plus allowance, the sleeve length measurements plus allowance, the midpoint, and then this. Remember, this is 4 inches down, the same line 4 inches below, and then this is let's say 1.5 to 2 inches below this point. So just running through it again, this is the actual sleeve length. This is 4 inches below the sleeve length. 4 inches below the sleeve length. this is 1.5 to 2 inches below the sleeve length to get the midpoint so that it slants like that. Let me know if it makes sense.